So don't tell us we're fucking going soft on you, fucks.
She Looks to Me.
Yeah, what do you think about that song?
I love that song.
You do?
Yeah, and it's not a song that I initially thought was going to be that good. When we started it, like, I liked it, but I thought, oh, it's kind of, doesn't really have that unique of a thing to it. You know?
It wasn't that unique.
Yeah, it just sounded kind of regular. And really, you know, took on a color of its own, you know? When the vocals were done and everything, I realized it was great. You know?
Yeah, it has a spirit.
Yeah.
It has a unique spirit in and amongst the other songs.
Yeah.
There's an emotion that it speaks to which is different than all the other ones.
Yeah. The whole, I mean, you know, I don't know. I always like with the lyrics, I just pick up little pieces here and there.
What did you pick up?
What?
What did you pick up?
Well, the Poe part, lost in a valley without my horses. No one can tell me what my remorse is.
Yeah.
It's a great lyric.
Oh,
I love
good.
that lyric.
Thank
It's
you.
very powerful. Yeah.
Because, you know, when you got your remorse, other people really can't tell you about it.
Yeah.
That's your own damn remorse.
Yeah, geez.
Oof.
It's like someone telling you to smile when you don't feel like smiling.
Exactly.
Yeah. Remember when the bridge was the chorus and the chorus didn't exist?
What?
Yeah. Remember when
yes.
The bridge used to be the chorus, and then the bridge became the bridge.
Right.
Then the chorus became the bridge, and we wrote a new chorus.
Was it a face-off?
The bridge was a face-off. With the first chorus was a face-off. And
Did you come up with the bridge?
Yes. But then the bridge, we decided it wasn't really a chorus, and we made it the bridge. And then Johnny came up with a chorus, with the chorus.
Right.
Yeah.
And later, the modulating chorus.
Yes.
The outro is another, like you know, thing that has to do with the movement that can be created with a modular synthesizer. I wanted to have a lot of, like I said, just a lot of movement on this recording. I was inspired by people like Brian Eno and people like Jimi Hendrix who didn't just stop at just having at just playing their drums and guitars and bass and everything, but actually tried to turn things into a sonic landscape and actually tried to make it interesting from a sonic standpoint as well as from a playing standpoint. And you know, that outro is another one of the sections that I'm proud of just because it has this very slow, mesmerizing, you know, movement to it that for me just resonates really well in my head and makes me feel like I'm looking at the ocean or something. You got anything about that one?
Nope.
21st century.
Got a very special place in my heart, my friend.
It's a good jam.
I think I dial into the emotion of this song in a different way. Like, first of all, when you started playing that bass line, I was thrilled. It struck me like good music from the early 80s, like Psycho Killer, or, you know, something good from Devo, like that real classic, simple, powerful, stark, good, you know, sort of new wave type something or other. It's a real sense of hope, that song, because it's about, you know, this is an absolutely chaotic century to make any sense out of. You know, you look around and you're like, what the hell is going on here? The ice caps are melting. You know, we're starting wars that don't need to be started. You know, the birds have flus. You know, there's just like all this madness, like, what the hell has happened here? And then you realize, oh, there got to be a reason for this. It's all to get us to the next place.
Even though I don't know exactly what the words are, that's exactly what they make me think about when I hear them. Because we're living in a crazy time. There's got to be some reason for this. And let's go forward with a positive attitude.
Make you feel better.
Make you feel better. Now, this is a song that I initially did not connect with at all, and now I love.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. And I didn't love it until the other night when I heard the mix.
Whew. By the way, not to toot my own horn, because I'm not that flexible, but I knew that this song would not make sense to anyone until it was mixed. I just could tell. I knew the parts. I knew how it was supposed to sound. And the mix was so unflattering. You know, it needed a makeover. Just, you know, lyrically, the feeling behind this is that, you know, we're in this life, we're given some gifts that just can't be taken away. Sometimes you have temporary gifts, they get taken away. You know, you meet somebody, they're a good person in your life. It's like, wow, what a gift.
Yeah.
5 years later, you don't even know them.
Right.
But then there are gifts that you get that are yours for life.
Right.
Who you are, the fact that you play music,
Yeah.
that you'll always play music, your daughter.
Yeah.
You know, there are things that that's yours for life.
Yeah.
And as part of the gift of being a musician, you have the gift of making people feel better. All day long, every day, somewhere in this world, you're making people feel better.
It's our duty.
Yeah, so we get to connect
Yeah.
and then do our thing, and it's a win-win.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah,
We're very lucky.
that's remarkable.
She's only 18, or sounds funkadelish-ish to me.
Yeah, we had this big chalkboard where we wrote down the names of the songs as we were names of little grooves or names of songs that we wanted to remember, and we were trying to think what would be the name for that one. And Chad and Anthony and I think we're looking at each other, and I was like, well, I think it sounds pretty funkadelic-ish to me.
That's good.
And what I meant by that was that we would call it funkadelic or something. And Anthony said funkadelic-ish to me, and funkadelic-ish to me ended up being the working title for that one until it was recrowned. She's only 18.
It's usually when Anthony gets his head around the lyrics and stuff is when the working titles kind of change.
I also remember this song had a completely different chorus.
What was the old chorus?
It was this totally phased out sounding thing. It was all phasey.
Right. It was like, yeah, it was some wild chord progression John came up with.
Hazy, phasey.
Yeah. I can't remember. I can hardly remember it. I can't remember what it was.
It was not as good as what it is now.
Was it? Yeah, then John came up with that, like, just real, that big, bold-ass chorus that it is now.
Yeah.
That real rockin' thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I will also go on record as saying it's probably my favorite guitar solo on the record.
It's a great fucking guitar solo.
It elevates me. When I listen
Right.
to it, I'll be like here,
Yeah.
and then I hear that solo,
Yeah.
and I'm up here.
Yeah, it's a real natural sounding solo.
It lifts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great solo. That's a funky ass groove.
Ooh, it's funky.
Yeah. That's just some cold funky shit right
Cold.
there.
And with the kind of open, beautiful, sentimental chorus.
Yeah.
We got the great Billy Preston to play clavinet on it, which is a very funky instrument, and a very funky man to play it.
Crazy exciting.
What a classic hero he is.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, he was really in ill health.
He's ill.
And he literally got out of bed, played it, and got back in bed.
That's right.
Yeah. Pretty amazing.
Sometimes when you're a funky keyboard player, you got to get out of your hospital bed, go rock the keys, and then go back to bed.
Yeah, born to funk.
Yeah.
The guy's born to funk.
Yep. God bless him.
It's a particular brand of funk, that one. Flea and I were kind of reminded of some of the stuff on America Eats Its Young, which is a funkadelic album that's kind of, it's got a lot of funk that's kind of this loose kind of funk, and that's how I think of that particular brand of funk, is this kind of loose funk.
I remember there was some concern along the way. You wanted it to be as hard. You wanted it to be this hard, grinding, stomping,
Yeah.
thick, powerful funk.
But it did.
It did, but there was a moment when you were, you know,
I was concerned.
You thought we lost the way.
Yeah, I didn't think that we had it, but once again we ended up using the rehearsal take.
Aha.
Or not the rehearsal take, but I'm not sure, but it was a very early take that we weren't using, and we were going for it, and it was getting too smooth for me. You know?
Yeah.
And I thought that it needed that jagged funk. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, which it has, and it feels so good when it goes in and out of the chorus because it has that dynamic. I think, you know.
It's dynamic.
Yeah. I always think about, like with the lyrics, not that once again I have no idea what's going on.
Thank goodness.
But I always think about that movie Wonderland, you know, about the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not so far off.
Uh-huh.
That's not so far off. I mean, there's a couple of songs on this record that sort of share slightly common ground lyrically. And this one is a little bit, it's about our town and the kind of madness that goes on in this town with show business and the kind of expectations and the seedy underbelly and also the creative side and the magical side and then the commercial side and also like this big weird animal called show business, which is sometimes wonderful and exciting and thrilling and vibrant and just wow, and other times it's just so low and lifeless and ugh.
Yeah.
And so it kind of speaks to that, like what this town is made of, and then you know, that in the chorus it's kind of like, you know, this character is so beautiful and perfect to begin with, but she sort of feels like the need to be validated by that world.
Yeah.
And really, you know, she's already been validated by the big amigo in the sky.
Yeah.